In the quiet, formal halls of Japanese politics, a storm is gathering. Its name is Sanae Takaichi, and if the political winds hold, she could become Japan's first female prime minister, a historic first in a nation where politics has long been the domain of men, tradition, and subtle power plays. To understand why her rise is so significant, we need to look at Japan's political system. For decades, the ruling Liberal Democratic Party, or LDP, has been the unshakable foundation of national politics. Since 1955, it has governed almost continuously. The LDP isn't just a party, it's a machine built on alliances, factions, and backroom deals. In this tightly woven, male-dominated world, careers are made not just by votes, but by seniority and respect. And into this web steps Sanae Takaichi. Born in 1961, Takaichi's journey didn't start in the elite circles of Tokyo. She wasn't the daughter of a political dynasty. She built her career from the ground up, which is rare in Japan's conservative establishment. After university, she worked in the private sector and even studied in the United States, where she was influenced by conservative, free market ideas. When she returned to Japan and entered politics in 1993, she quickly gained a reputation for being outspoken, principled, and unapologetically controversial. She was elected to the Diet, Japan's parliament, just as the LDP lost power for the first time in decades. Takaichi was a new voice, and even as a young woman in a man's world, she refused to play small. Her speeches were sharp, her opinions firm. She made it clear she wouldn't just repeat the careful, ambiguous phrases common in Japanese politics. She was direct, decisive, and sometimes combative. Takaichi criticized bureaucratic inefficiency and questioned Japan's post-war pacifist identity. Arguing for a stronger national defense, she spoke of national pride in a way that some found inspiring and others found troubling. Politically, she leaned to the right, long associated with conservatives who want to revise the Constitution, especially Article 9, the famous clause renouncing war, to her supporters. Takaichi represents strength and courage to her critics. She represents a dangerous nationalism. But in Japan, politics is also about networks and timing. Takaichi's biggest boost came from her relationship with former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Abe, Japan's longest-serving leader, was known for his conservative vision of a beautiful Japan and a more assertive national identity. Takaichi was one of his protégés, one of the few female politicians he trusted to carry his vision forward. When Abe was assassinated in 2022, it left a huge vacuum in Japan's conservative movement. Many started looking for someone to carry his ideological torch. For them, Sanae Takaichi became that figure. Now, imagine it's 2025. The LDP leadership election has just ended, and against expectations, Takaichi has won. Her victory is symbolic, historic, and deeply political. Japan, a country that has never had a female prime minister, is on the edge of a paradigm shift. Yet, her rise also exposes deep contradictions. Japan is a modern, technologically advanced nation, but when it comes to gender equality, it ranks shockingly low among developed countries, consistently below 120th place in the World Economic Forum's Gender Gap Report. Only about 10% of lawmakers in Japan's lower house are women. So when Takaichi stepped into the spotlight, the reaction was electric, but divided. Some saw it as long overdue progress. Others saw it as mere symbolism, pointing out that her policies aren't exactly feminist. And they have a point. Takaichi's politics are complex. She opposes legalizing separate surnames for married couples, are key issue in Japan's gender debate. She's skeptical of some gender equality laws, favoring traditional family values instead. This makes her rise a paradox. She represents female leadership, yet advocates a conservative social vision. But beyond gender, what kind of leader will she be? If she becomes prime minister, she'll face a mountain of challenges: economic stagnation, a declining population, and a tense geopolitical environment. Inflation is starting to bite, the yen is weak, and the aging population is straining healthcare and pensions. And looming in the background is China, growing more assertive and testing Japan's security alliances. Takaichi has been clear on where she stands. She wants to strengthen Japan's self-defense forces, deepen the alliance with the U.S., and take a firm stance against Chinese and North Korean provocations. Economically, she's calling for Abenomics 2.0, a mix of stimulus and reform, with a new focus on tech innovation and national resilience. She often speaks of pride, perseverance, and responsibility. Her words resonate with older, conservative voters who crave stability, but they alienate younger Japanese who want more openness and diversity. One of the biggest questions is whether she can manage the LDP's fragile internal politics. The party is a collection of factions, each with its own agenda. Her strong, unyielding style might clash with the consensus-driven culture of Japanese politics. Her survival could depend on mastering this delicate balancing act. Foreign policy will be another major test. The world is watching. Washington sees Japan as a crucial ally against China. Southeast Asian nations look to Japan as a reliable partner. Takaichi's strong defense posture might reassure allies, but could also raise tensions. She's expected to be pragmatic but tough, less inclined to compromise, and more willing to project confidence. Then there's her public image. Sanae Takaichi's persona is serious and convicted. She's often seen in formal suits, speaking calmly but firmly. She doesn't smile much in public, perhaps a deliberate choice to project authority in a culture that still doubts female strength and leadership. Her image is disciplined, intellectual, and unafraid. But behind the image is a personal story of struggle. Takaichi has talked about how difficult it was to navigate politics as a woman, facing sexism and criticism her male colleagues rarely did. She once said, "If you hesitate or show weakness, they'll eat you alive." Her rise to the top is a testament to her political instincts and resilience. Still, critics wonder if her leadership will bring real change or just reinforce old power structures. Will she open doors for more women, or will she be constrained by the very system she now leads? The symbolism of her rise is undeniable. For generations of Japanese women who have only seen men in power, a female prime minister would be revolutionary, even if her policies are progressive. It would signal that the highest office is no longer reserved for men. And sometimes, symbolism itself can be transformative. As the political stage prepares for its next act, the headlines will read, "Japan elects its first female prime minister." But behind the headline is a deeper story of a nation wrestling with its identity. Caught between modernity and tradition, Sanae Takaichi's rise represents both continuity and disruption in a paradox that perfectly captures modern Japan. She carries Abe's conservative legacy, yet her very presence challenges conservative traditions. In the coming months, every decision she makes will be scrutinized, but in that spotlight, she will have the chance to redefine not just her career, but the role of women and leadership in Japan's 21st century democracy. Japan stands at a crossroads. Whether Sanae Takaichi becomes a transformative leader or simply a historic figurehead remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, her journey has already changed the story of Japanese politics forever. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as we do, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the people and events shaping our world. See you next time.